Hello everyone, it's Thursday. So recently I've been thinking about where I want to travel to in 2019. Do I want to revisit a place I've been to before, or do I want to go someplace new where I've never been before? And for some reason this year, I'm having some real difficulty figuring out where I want to go, which for me is very unusual. I know that in June I will be once again traveling to Colorado to visit Eric and Caroline for their wedding. I also know that I will be at home in Pennsylvania sometime to visit my family during the summer. But as of right now, I have no other plans. I mentioned a short time ago that this is very unusual for me to not know where I'm going to be traveling 6 months into the future. I'm someone who likes to make travel plans very far in advance. I know not everyone is like that, but I know when I was younger and my family would travel places, our trips would usually be scheduled pretty far ahead of when they would happen. So lately, while suffering through the first world problem of figuring out where I'm going to spend my summer vacation, I thought about where would I travel if I had no limits? Basically, if I could travel anywhere with no restrictions, where would I go? So for the remainder of this video, I present to you my traveling bucket list. For the record, at this point in my life, I have no desire to travel overseas. There is so much that I want to see in this country and Canada that I would like to see first before thinking about going anywhere else. Speaking of Canada, one of the places on the top of my list is going to British Columbia and Alberta, specifically the area around Lake Jasper National Park, between that and the United States border. There are some absolutely stunning mountain ranges in this particular part of Canada that I would just love to spend some time in. This area of Canada has been the top of my traveling bucket list for over 10 years now. I know it's going to be a little while till I get there, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Now just a little further south of that is the next area on my list, the area around Washington and Oregon, specifically around the Columbia River Gorge. This is another area with some absolutely stunning scenery, a little less mountainous than northern Canada, but still very beautiful. Utah is another state on my list of places I would like to visit, particularly the area around Salt Lake City. In addition to visiting the city itself, I would really like to see the Great Salt Lake. Northern California is another spot on my list. I've been to Southern California, but very little, if any at all, of Northern California. Not so much San Francisco, though I would like to go there to see the trolley cars, but north of that, like around Mount Shasta and the Feather River, west of the Nevada border. Texas is another state on my list of places that I would like to go to. I've only ever been in the Houston airport, and with the size of that state, there is so much ground to cover. I could easily spend a week, probably more, in the state of Texas and still not see everything I want to see. So I know that if I ever go to Texas once, I'm going to have to go again because there will be stuff that I undoubtedly will not have seen in the first trip. Obviously, this list is not exhaustive, but it gives you an idea of the kind of places that are on my list of places that I would like to visit. My goal is to travel to all of the 48 continental United States. If I'm lucky, I'll get to Hawaii and Alaska at some point. I've traveled to a little over 30 of the continental United States. Some of you may remember several years ago I made a My Visited States video where I told you about the states that I visited. I'll link that somewhere here, maybe up here, or maybe I'll put it here on the shelf somewhere. It might be on the screen at some point. The video is a little dated. I did it about 2 or 3 years ago. Since then I've added about 3 or 4 states that were previously non-visited, but I have since visited since I made the video. Thank you all for watching. If you've traveled to any exotic place in this country or Canada or anywhere else and you want to share your experience, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I love reading about people's different traveling escapades around the world. In fact, I will give a shout out right here to my Aunt Mary Lou, who lives in Las Vegas, who is kind of like a traveling guru herself. She travels, I think, like 10 months out of the year, or it seems like 10 months out of the year. In fact, I feel like she's in a new country almost every month. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mary Lou. I know you will, and you'll let me know, okay? God bless, and I'll see all of you later.